All right, so I just kind of want to get started by just talking about the James Lynch situation. Obviously, a tough loss, and obviously injuries are a part of the game. You hate to see it. I think Lynchy's done a great job of just coming back from surgery in the off season. He worked his way back. He was moving his way up the depth chart, so it's unfortunate. It's a tough break for him. Just as a team, as a unit, we feel it's a tough break. We'll feel bad for him. We know how important the game is to him. But just my conversation with him last night, he's going to work his butt off to get back out here as soon as he can. So.
What's your feeling about the depth of that defensive line in general after that?
I think we've got solid depth. Some veteran players like Harrison, Bullard, Tonga. Then we got some young guys like Jay Roy, Boog. So we got some good young players. Boog is Calvin, by the way. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, I figured it was coming.
What stood out to you about Tonga? How the pads come on, obviously, at that position?
He's strong, he's powerful, he's got quickness. He plays with good technique. He really works at that part of it, trying to control blockers. But he's got a quickness for a big guy that allows him some pass rush ability, or allows him to help us in the pass rush as well. So I think he's off to a good start. We'll continue to just keep working and grinding on a day-to-day basis.
Andrew Booth Jr. just said he hopes to be back on the grass tomorrow. Just where is he at with his grasp of the scheme?
I think he's in a good place as far as understanding what we're doing. He's a little nicked up right now. It's training camp. That's almost par for the course. We've got that with several guys. But he was stringing together some good practices, making some plays on the ball. He's better at the line of scrimmage, trying to get hands on receivers. Some really good run fits. So I think we'll get him out here, hopefully, pretty soon. But yeah, he's dealing with, a little something like a lot of our players. No one's at full strength after 3-4 days in full pads.
With the defensive line, do you plan to kind of just use a rotation there and keep guys fresh, or what's kind of your thought there with that?
Yeah,
group?
there's always a rotation with those big guys normally. You want that second wave of guys just so they don't tire out over the course of a drive. But for the most part, we want to try to put players in the best positions to give us team success. So I would say yes, there's going to be some form of rotation. Is it going to be 4 in, 4 out? It could be. Is it going to be 1 for 1 in a situation, or 2 for 2 in a situation? Third down, second and long. Could be. Sometimes guys just get gassed. It could be that. So yeah, there's always some type of substitution process. We've already kind of started talking about that with a game coming up, who we want in when, and just going through that substitution process.
What have you seen just from Dean Lowry in that group? Obviously, new to the Vikings, but a vet in this league, and how has that helped him transition?
You see that experience. You can see that on tape. He knows how to play blocks. He understands schematically what the offense is trying to do to him. He knows when he's in, when they have an advantage, just from a blocking scheme standpoint. He knows when he has an advantage from a blocking scheme standpoint. And oftentimes, in the trenches, it's about that understanding. And Dean's got a good feel for it. He knows if he's in this position, he can't get reached. He knows if he's in this position, they got an angle on him. And he does a good job of playing with good technique, fundamentals, releasing off of blocks. He's quiet. I don't know, he leads by example, and it's important to him. So we're happy to have him. He's done a good job this camp.
KO has mentioned a few times the physicality of the camp as he perceives it so far through the first week or so of full pads.
Yeah.
As you've watched it from a defensive perspective, is it pretty much where you want it? Do you like it even more? Do you like people to dial it down from where it's at, or in terms of what you've seen so far?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with KO. I think we're in a good place as far as where we want to be at this point in camp. There was a lot of it was thoughtfully constructed the way he and Kwesi went about putting this camp schedule together. And we as coaches, we just try to execute what KO puts in front of us. So, but I think the players have come out and I think they've done a great job of just stringing practices together. Certainly, props to Tyler and his staff. Pre-practice, post-practice, cold tub, hot tub. They're constantly talking to the players about hydrating and making sure they're ready to go the next day. And we've been able to play at a fast tempo, and play with good physicality, good communication. So I think we're off to a good start, but it's still very early. We haven't even played a game yet.
Harrison's always been in the league for forever, it seems like. What's the biggest thing you've learned about Harrison Smith since you've gotten to coach him day in, day out?
I learned that he flies planes. I thought that was interesting. I don't know if anybody else knew that. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that, but yeah, the guy. That's a lot more interesting than blitzing off the edge, in my opinion. So I think that's part of it. Just starting to get to really build some relationships with, a lot of the players. Harrison being one of them. Harrison Phillips, Jordan Hicks, Bullard. Probably the more veteran players are more apt to come talk to me than some of the younger rookies. I get that, but I try to reach out to some of those younger players as well. But yes, Harrison's to get back to your question. Harrison is his veteran presence. He understands the game, similar to the conversation I was having about Dean. But protections, coverage, disguise, blitz technique, coverage technique, tackling technique, and he's still a student of the game. So I think he's a great leader by example. Just the way he works, the way he takes notes, the questions he asks. I know that oftentimes he's asking questions for some other young guy who doesn't want to, say it in front of the room, and I think that in itself is something I appreciate. I'm excited to work with him, to continue to work with him. He's done a great job.
What is he showing you to kind of earn those spots?
Yeah, we're moving a lot of guys. I wouldn't, dig too much into who's doing who's where. I would say Makai's, he's done good with his opportunities. He asks a lot of questions. He tries to execute the technique and fundamentals that that Durante gives him, and I think Durante does a great job with that group. I think if he continues on this trajectory, he'll be, he'll set himself up for some playing time. But yeah, as far as who's with the ones, who's with the twos, we had a meeting this morning about mixing things up. So, but he's done a very good job, just like a lot of the young players. Depends on the rookie. I think, when you're a rookie, you come in this league, there's a lot that's thrown at you, a lot of things that people don't talk about. You're in a new environment, 494, east turns into north, and it's just trying to find your way. You're in a new locker room. You're trying to, establish yourself, learn a new playbook. There's a lot on their plates. So it's not easy to come in, and I didn't even mention that just the level of competition and the players in this league, they're up against the best. So there's a lot on them. So it's not easy to just walk in and play, but every so often you get a guy who has the maturity, has the routine, has the kind of the mindset and temperament to deal with all those things that are happening and contribute. So that's what I tell rookies. Hey, learn as much as you can, ask questions, and find a way to contribute. And I think our group of young defensive players, I think they've taken to that. I tell them to follow the lead of the veteran players in front of them, and they've got some good ones in front of them. And if they do all those things and they practice well and they play well in the game, it's a constant evaluation. We're always going to try to play the best players.
I was wondering if you wanted to go flying with Harrison. You'd ask for a flight with him.
My immediate answer is no. But I could. Have I? I have not. Nor do I want to. Immediate answer. But, maybe after a few conversations, I can get comfortable. I don't see that happening, but, probably not. Good? Great. Thank you, guys.